Hello everybody. They told me that I'd fiddled with a team too early. Apparently I'd played my wild card far too soon. Should have left it until later. Should have stuck with a team that I had all along. They were wrong. I didn't do it too early. I did it at exactly the right time. Because I tell you what, I've shot up the league. Absolutely shot up the league. Well, by 160 odd places, which I think is pretty good. I've had a very, very good week, and I was right to do it. I don't care what anybody says. As I was walking out the stadium for the game against Bournemouth, we might mention it a little bit if it crops up. But as I was walking out the stadium, somebody said Trippier scored, which was really should have been bad news. I got rid of him. All right, maybe I was a bit hasty, but I'm happy. I'm happy with my decision. Anyway, welcome, and thank you very much for joining me. Have a little look in the chat. We've got people there. That's absolutely lovely. Now, listen, I wasn't really going to do this week. I'm on holiday, okay? But we need to keep this going, don't we? We need to keep this fantasy football league fresh in everyone's memory. We need to update the teams on a regular basis, and we need to see who is doing well. So I'm sat here. I've not got the best connection, so I must just apologise now, all right? If it cuts in and out, apologies. Once I get back home, I'll have my proper internet connection and we'll be producing some proper videos. But let's get to it anyway, and let's have a look who's done well, me, and who else has done well. We've got a new leader at the top. We've got a record points haul, as well as quite a bit of other news, and we need to look at the teams and the predictions for next week as well. Before I do that, I'm starting to get the grips with a new software. So, before I do that, let me shamelessly just plug the One Football app, as we have been doing on Hammers Chat for the past couple of weeks. The link is in the description below. Please do click, download it, tailor it to your specifications. It's actually very, very good. Not only for following whatever team you want to follow, but if you are looking at stats and you are looking for things to help with your fantasy football league, then it's a very, very good tool with which to do so. It's free, it's very useful, link is in the description below, and as I say, if you just want to tailor it to West Ham and just follow that team, then you can do just that as well. Right, my team first, then we'll deal with all the rest, because I took a lot of stick last time we did this. I really did. I played my wild card. Maybe, do you know what? Maybe it was a little bit rash. Maybe it was a little bit hasty. But if I'd have stuck with the team that I had, I just wouldn't have scored as many points. So, let's just click on mine here. Hopefully it brings this up for you now. And you can see that I got a grand total in that game week of 97 points. Now you remember I was whatever, 264th? Something like that. I'm now up to 94th in the HammersChat.com league, which is really what this video is all about, following that league in particular. De Gea, I've got to do something about this guy, but we'll get back to him in a minute. I told you, if you'd have watched the first show, the one thing I have got right is this guy Pereira. I said before a ball had been kicked, this guy is going to look like one of the best right backs in the Premier League. Well, there's nothing's happened to change that, and Leicester look pretty damn good. Luke Shaw got an assist of sorts. Did you see it? You know what? We'll take it. I don't know what's going on with Jose Mourinho here, but it's a little bit suspect. We've got Mendy, who's just looks like, as long as he can stay fit, he's just going to score assists or just get us points all season. Jota, I've got to be honest, I've moved him on. He has been my one transfer for this game week coming up. Salah scored well, Mane scored well, Neves, he didn't score that well, but he's good. He's going to score points consistently throughout the season. Zaha, not so good, but they were playing Liverpool. And now Arnautovic scored a penalty, and the thing that really sealed it was I had made Aguero my captain, which is that's done me wonderfully well. But all those other guys that I brought in, it just had to be done. So also the guy we're going to see in a minute, that is the top of the league, has also done it. He's played his wild card. So look, I think sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and say you got it wrong. That first team selection that I did was awful. It was no good. It was wrong. I've corrected it. I've amended it. So I've got rid of Jota, as I mentioned. I'm bringing this in Maddison. Now, for those of you that have followed the previous 2 episodes of this, Maddison was in my team originally. I should have stuck with my instincts. I took him out, in all honesty, largely because what Mike said about Jota, and that's why I chose him. So, anyway, so Maddison's gone back in, but I do think I'm going to need to deal with David De Gea, because what's going on with Man United? They are not a trustworthy team in terms of doing fantasy league football. You can't rely on the miserable, grumpy old Jose Mourinho. He's traditionally, alright, he didn't have the best attacking team, but traditionally he had a good defence. It's just not worth it. I don't know what those guys are doing at the back. But anyway, fortunately, Luke Shaw seems to be creating something going forward, but I'm thinking next week I might be able to get rid of De Gea, get somebody else in, and I think further along the line I might look to get rid of Luke Shaw. But is Jose Mourinho going to be there for very long? These are all the little decisions and the little tweaks that you've got to make, because it's tight at the top of this league. Let me just show you the league first. You'll know. Listen, if you're watching this, then you've watched the league. Hopefully, anyone watching this is all part of it. That's what it's about. We follow each other's teams. This video is not going to appeal to a wider audience. It's really for us that are playing this fantasy league game. But let's have a little look at the league here. So, as you saw, what did I get? 97 points, something like that, was it? 105 game week points by AMRMSOUD. Now, we're going to look at Amir's team in just a minute. Hopefully, I've pronounced that right. Do you remember last week? I expect to lose. Ryan Huth. He was there, wasn't he? Do you remember he was the highest ranking West Ham fan? Well, he's had another very, very good week, which has kept him right up there. He's only 3 points off the top. So, another very good week from Ryan there. You know, well done, mate. But then we sort of go down. We've got another hammer. Rainham Hammers there. Then we go Bayern Neverlusen, and I like that. That's a really clever play on words. Good name. Jamie Hall, lots of us know Jamie, big West Ham fan. He's done really well. Again, second week. So this is what I'm saying. You just cannot, in this fantasy football league, you can't switch off. You can't afford to have 3 or 4 bad weeks if you want to try and contest the top. Now, you know, am I going to contest the top? It's unlikely, but I'm going to do what I can to keep up there, and I'm going to try and learn as I go along. You might have seen Mike in there as well. We'll deal with Mike in a minute. Mike from Mike on Monday, he's on there, and he's had another very good week. So there's some people who are very good at this game, and there's some real hot competition. So we've got to do it. We've got to keep it up. I'm just going to have a quick look in the live chat, see who's going on. Sorry, we got a buzzing sound in the background. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to move this, and then you let me know if that gets any better. That's my microphone. I'll just try and move it away from there a little bit and hope that sorts the buzzing out. Right, okay, so growing perspectives in, Super Stubbsy's in, and of course Ben Davis. No, Ben, listen, this is not a Chelsea top, it's a work top. I actually had it all sorted out, so I was like, I wear my West Ham top on. But Mrs. Gonzo's washed it, and I only found out about 5 minutes ago. So I've just had to chuck on a work top. It's not a Chelsea top, my friends. Alright, there's a bit of claret in there. Surely you can see that. Anyway, getting back to the teams. So let's have a look at AMRMSOUD's team. So this is the guy that's top of the league at the moment. Hopefully we can all see this, and this pops up on the screen for you. It's excellent. So he's got Alisson in goal. So immediately he's got an advantage there because he's got a good goalkeeper. He did have Trippier in his team. Oh, I can't complain. I had a good week. I cannot complain. But he's scored 105 points this game week. He's got Alonso, who looks like an absolute tour de force going forward. Alonso's somebody that people are going to have to try and look to get into their fantasy league team. Like Mendy, he's scoring a lot of points. Richarlison was scoring points for the second week running. Salah made Salah his captain. Imagine how good he would have been if he'd have made Aguero his captain, which I did. Mane, Pereira, who perhaps didn't do that well for Watford, but Watford are doing well themselves. If they carry on, he's going to do well. Bernardo Silva and Callum Wilson. So, I mean, he's done very, very well. He's had a very good time there. And if you just look, he's top of pretty much every league he's involved in, apart from the Liverpool league. Now, I'm guessing he's obviously a Liverpool fan from what it says there. So, what this also means, folks, this means in our Hammers Chat League, for the second week running, do you remember we had a Chelsea fan at the top last week? So, for the second week running, we have got a non-West Ham fan at the top of the league. And that can't be good. That can't be good. So, Oh, sorry, Ben Davis. That's what Ben Davis meant when he said Chelsea top. He meant no Chelsea fan at the top of the league. Well, hopefully that has answered that, Ben. There's no Chelsea fan at the top of the league, but there is a Liverpool fan at the top of the league. And well done to him. If we're not good enough to beat him, what else can we do? Hello, Mark's in the live chat at the moment. He says he got 93 points this week. Aguero's his captain, and he played the triple captain points. Well, I'll tell you what, Mark. Well done. And that is the perfect time for me to show you the top points getter of the game week was Nick Lane. Here's Nick's team. Can we see that? 117 points. Now I do believe, I think that might be the same Nick that tweeted me perhaps at the weekend to let me know that he'd done the triple points for Aguero as captain. But as you can see there, he's not scored many points. He's gone very West Ham, Nick. He's got Wilshere, Anderson, and Arnautovic in there. There's 3 West Ham players, none of whom, apart from Arnie, have scored particularly highly. He's even lost points on Rudiger at the back there. Pickford's not scored well. He's got his Sane and there who's in my team for the first one. He has literally shot up there off the back of Mane, Pogba and Aguero, really. Of course, sorry, not giving enough credit to Alonso there, who he's also got in the team. So, well done there, Nick. I mean, you've done very, very well, and that was a shrewd time to play your triple captain points, as Mark has done, who's just mentioned in the general chat. How many of us are going to time that well? Because that's shown me the value of the triple captain card, or whatever you want to call it when you play that. I think I'm going to wait. Like he did, that was a good one because obviously Man City were playing Huddersfield and that was a good time to play that. So maybe we wait until Liverpool are playing someone weak or something like that, and then we look to put it on Salah, Mane, something like that. But you're not going to get much better than when you do the triple captain doing that when the guy plays a hat trick. So scores a hat trick. So well done, Nick. You've done very, very well. So we look just a little bit lower. You saw Jamie Hall there, who's had consecutively 2 very, very good weeks. He scored well, 96 points there. Ederson in goal. Robertson, 7 points. Mendy, who we know now, and Mendy was his captain, so again he scored well there. Davis not so great. Alonso, we've spoken about. Ericsson, not really fired up this weekend. Mane seems to be doing well, perhaps slightly outshining Salah at this early stage. Maybe that's got something to do with Keita playing as well. He's perhaps linking a little bit with Keita. Richarlison with 9 points there, Arnautovic, and of course Aguero there. So well done, Jamie. Excellent, very good. He's right up the top. He was good last week as well. So 2 consistent weeks, which brings us to the last team I'm going to show you today. Where have I got it? Did I put it up there? I've got Mike's team. Mike from Michael Mundy, Mike Manera. There he is, 98 points. Well done, Mike. And he even got that with somebody in his team scoring no points at all. So you take that, you Cedric there, and of course Firmino only got 2. But he was shrewd. He did the captain. He did Aguero as a captain. Mendy in there. Robertson, who we've seen. Paul Pogba. Salah. Kearney scored quite low as well. So, excuse me, just having a drink there. So well done to Mike. You know, excellent. Great showing there. Great showing. Right, now just to give you a little update on how this works. Unfortunately, on the little mini league, on our mini league, I can't click to see who's done well on each game week per se. So I actually had to manually click through and find out that Nick had been the best performer in the league. So there is a facility where you can see who is the top points earner per month. So I think that's what we're going to do in terms of the monthly prize. Spoke with Gio last night, and Gio's team's in it. I just couldn't even find it. Gio's team's in it. I want to deal with Gio's team. So next week we'll highlight his. We'll hopefully dig it out. I'll get him to screenshot and send me it, and then we'll put that up. But we discussed we've got quite a nice finishing prize for this tournament as well. But as you may well remember, we have got monthly prizes. So here's how it goes again. No, they make streetwear. They're a clothing company based in Stratford. They're good mates of ours. Very kindly agreed to donate some of their fine attire. So what they're going to do is they're giving away a t-shirt each and every month. And all you have to do is, if you win, you contact me, I contact you. Haven't worked out exactly how we're going to do it yet. But whoever wins gets to go online, go on their website, you choose a t-shirt, you choose your size, you choose what you want, you let me know, and we order it for you, and King will get it sent out to you. How good is that? So thank you very much from all the guys at King Apparel. And what it does for us is it makes it, if you have been, let's be fair, if you've been crap at the start, it does allow us to, you know, give out prizes. If everybody goes off in the distance, we've already seen first 2 weeks, people going back to back and doing very, very well. So it just allows us, if we've been some of us slow starters, we can still hopefully win something. And it just keeps everybody interested. We've also had some late joiners who they miss out, not the overall points for their fantasy league points, but in terms of the Hammers Chat mini league, they haven't scored until they've joined. So my old mate Steve Jackson, old Jacko there, is actually bottom of the league at the moment. But he's only just joined. And we've got 2 more joining after the last game week as well. So we've got around about 1,000 people in the mini league, which is quite a nice number, far more than I expected. And it's hard for me to go around and obviously pick out every single team, but I will each week endeavour to try and pick out, you know, 5 or 6 different people as well, and just keep it as up to date as possible. If you do well, you're going to be on there, and we might dig out, like Steve, the odd person who's not doing quite so well. Right, that was a bit of a mouthful. I'm going to look at the teams We're going to look at the games for the upcoming game week. So allow me just to click on and have a look. See, so coming up, we've got game week 3. Just to go through it very, very quickly: Wolves v Man City, Arsenal v West Ham, Bournemouth, Everton, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Southampton, Leicester, Liverpool, Brighton, Watford, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Burnley, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Man United play Tottenham. Right, just going to have a quick look in the live chat at the moment, see what everybody's saying about what's been going on. I've got some, obviously we're a little bit worried in the West Ham world. We're a little bit worried about the upcoming game. Gonzo says there's so many teams he can't find my own one. That's what Growing Perspective said. I do understand that, mate. There's a lot of people, an awful lot of people in the team. Your one, though, should feature at the top of the page or the bottom of the page. So when I click on the league, that league that I showed you, where it has them all listed, I am at the bottom. Even though I am sort of whatever, just inside the top 100, my team and your own team will always appear on each page. Okay, so just look in the league, then you'll find it, and you'll find where you are. There are a lot of teams. Once we've done the first month, so once we're in September, the teams should be a lot easier to find, and I'll be able to filter through them. They used to have it, the Fantasy Premier League, where you could click for it on Game Week, but unless I'm just being dense and I can't find it, they seem to have changed that to do it monthly. So you know, but you should be able to find your own team. It's just finding everyone else's is a little bit hard. Just obviously make sure you're logged in, and it'll register that's your team. Right, some predictions for the upcoming games. Wolves v Man City. Now, I've got to go for a Man City win. Wolves, as well as they've done in the transfer market, I think there's still some adjustment to be done to the Premier League, and Man City are just absolutely rampant. Kevin De Bruyne's out, which is interesting. We haven't discussed that, have we? So that's would hinder most teams, wouldn't it? But they've got such good firepower there. I mean, somebody at Bernardo Silva, whatever his name is, was in the team. He's very good. They bought Mahrez. Gundogan's been playing for them as well. They're not short of quality in the middle of the park, that's for sure. And they've got young Phil Foden coming through as well. I'm going for Man City. Whether it's a Aguero captain job is another matter. Arsenal v West Ham. The boys did the preview earlier, so I wasn't on it. So I think Arsenal are probably going to beat West Ham 3-1 on that. Sorry, I didn't give a score for Man City. I think it's an easy win. I think it's 3-0 to Man City. 3-1 Arsenal beat West Ham. Sorry, it's hard to get any hope, which we've discussed on the cup of tea, we've discussed on the review, and the boys have discussed on the preview. Bournemouth v Everton. I think they might make it a little bit sticky for them, actually. I think they might. I think Sammy Silver's going to know all about Bournemouth because he's managed it twice in this country before anyway. Everton look decent enough, but Eddie Howe's no fool. 1-1. I'll go for 1-1 there. Huddersfield v Cardiff. Huddersfield, I mean, what's a trouncing they got. I'd fancy Cardiff to win this. I actually fancy Cardiff. I think Neil Warnock's bully boy tactics may well win through. So I'm going to go for Cardiff to beat Huddersfield by a goal. 1-0, let's say. Southampton v Leicester. That's a win for Leicester again. Leicester really impressed me. Really impressed me. I can't think, maybe the fella, maybe it's Ndidi or something. One of the midfielders there looks very impressive. I like Chilwell. Pereira we've discussed. We've already discussed the lad that signed from Norwich. Vardy. Did Vardy go off injured or did Vardy get sent off? I only briefly watched some of the highlights, but whatever. Leicester looked very, very good. Liverpool v Brighton. Despite what Brighton did to Man United, I think it said a lot more about Man United than it did against Brighton. I cannot see Brighton going all the way up from the south coast to Liverpool and doing anything. So I still take Liverpool to win that. I'll bet the score 3-1 Liverpool. Just Van Dijk and Gomez, that defensive partnership is not going to allow Murray to have too much joy there. I didn't give the Leicester score, did I? Leicester 2-0. Leicester 2-0 to beat Southampton. Watford v Crystal Palace. Watford have started well. I think Palace are going to win. I think Roy Hodgson is going to have enough there. I think he might get a 1-0 away win. Fulham v Burnley. I think Burnley might be on a bit of a downer there. Having said that, I could see that being 0-0 maybe. But that's my head is telling me 0-0. I think my heart, well not heart, I don't care, but Fulham Burnley, I don't care. If anyone's going to win, I think it might be Fulham now. Not I particularly want them to. I don't want as many teams with low points as possible, being a West Ham fan. Newcastle v Chelsea. Chelsea again, look rampant. Benitez is no fool. Former Chelsea manager. Maybe a little squeak there. 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 to Chelsea. And finally, Man United v Spurs. And much as I hate to predict a Spurs win, I think it will be. I just think Mourinho has completely lost the dressing room there. He's completely lost it. I mean, he's not lost the dressing room, I think he's lost the boardroom. Every room. He has lost every single room at Old Trafford. So, normally Tottenham away. Tottenham didn't even buy any players. But, you know. I still think that. That's what I think. I think he may well be the first manager to go. I really do. But I think I've already discussed that before. Just going back to the general chat. Vardy got sent off. Thank you very much. Forever Blowing Bubbles has put that on there. Ben Davis says Salah as skipper this week. Yeah, but Mane's been outscoring him. It is interesting. Burnley lost tonight. 3-1. I take it in Europe. They're obviously crikey. That is not good. That's not a good tournament. For most clubs, Man United won it in Mourinho's first season in charge, didn't they? Man United had a win on that. Yeah, I think it's the smaller clubs suffer. I really do. I just think they suffer on that. It's very, very difficult. Yeah, I just that's going to affect their confidence. I think Burnley. We've seen it many times before. People of an older vintage maybe remember when Ipswich were in. They qualified for the UEFA Cup. Did ever so well. George Burley, qualified for the UEFA Cup. I think they finished 6th or something in the Premier League. 5th or 6th. Were excellent. Had a guy playing from Finidi George. Very, very good team. And they won the UEFA Cup. I think they got relegated. So it's not always the best thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with my conversation with my prediction about Burnley there. Just having a little read through. Sorry if I've gone a bit scatty. Just reading through the comments. Okay, so you've got Maddison in this week along with Mane and Mitrovic. That's what Super Stubbsy said. He's saving cash for Kane when he starts firing. I've got a little bit in the bank. Also, my team has gone up by $500,000, the value. So incrementally, they have gone up. So yeah, my team is worth 100,500,000 now, which is hopefully that'll start to yield something. The real trick with that, I think, with Fantasy League is when you start. Everybody's going to have Salah, I think. Most people are going to have Aguero at the moment. So the only way you can really claw any additional points above anyone else is whether you make them captain or whether you don't make them captain. The real trick comes if you've got one of those players. It might be Alonso, it might be Mendy, but you're going to look. There's going to be 5 or 6 players, like the ones I've just mentioned, who everybody's got, or lots of people have. So as you move up and move up the league and you're scored, theirs will be exactly the same, and they'll start to balance out. The trick is when one of those players gets injured. So let's say Salah gets injured for 2 months. If Salah gets injured for a game, it doesn't matter. You keep him in your team, you don't sell him. But if Salah's going to be out for 3 months and he's worth whatever, 13, 14 million, you're going to have to sell him, you have to replace him, and that is where you're going to see the difference in teams, and you'll start to see the league split a little bit if one of the top guys does get an injury, because not everyone will then do the same thing. People might, it's like Stubbsy said, he's saving cash for Kane. Some people might use that cash and go for one big player. Some people might think, actually, I want a Zaha and an Arnautovic. They might go for 2 £7 million players in that, and sort of split the cash. And I just think it's very, very interesting to see what different people do. Let's have a look. So Super Stubbsy's actually said no Salah for him. So he's going Aguero as captain again. Burnley could be in a relegation dogfight, says Graham Perspective. Super Stubbsy says, who are you captaining this week, Gonzo? I don't know, Stubbsy. I don't know. Sorry, it's not Stubbsy, it's Stubbies. Sorry, mate. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know. I get the Salah calls. Aguero would still be a good shout. But also Mane, I think he's a really good one as well. I need to look at it a little more closely. I say look at it a little bit more closely. You know what? Why not look at it now? We're on the where's my team? I won't put it up on screen because it's just I didn't have it all set up. Yeah, we didn't say Wan-Bissaka got a red card, didn't he? So he's in a few of our squads, so he won't play next one. For me, obviously if Shaw's not there, I'm going to put a Trent Alexander-Arnold in instead of Shaw. Or I'll put Trent Alexander-Arnold as the first of my substitutes. Jorginho was on my bench. Just so you know, my bench was Jorginho, Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka and Wayne Hennessy. Captain, it's the ones we've mentioned. It has to be because Liverpool are playing Brighton. So Man City away to Wolves. I'm going to go with Salah or Mane. I think I'm not. If I was going to be secretive about my team, I wouldn't be doing this video. Let's be fair. So my team's quite open. I think I'm going to go with one of those two. And I like the conversation. As I say, there was a few people that spoke to me when I went to the game, were speaking about the fantasy league. So they clearly involved and following. So I had a few conversations on the boats, a couple inside the stadium. So it's nice to know what people are doing. Forever Blowing Bubbles, Gonzo, have you got Trippier back in? I've not, mate. I've not. No, I don't think so. I'm quite happy with my defence, and if I were to get Trippier in, I would have to get rid of, I think, Pereira or Mendy, and I don't want to. Pereira's on low money, and look at what he scored. Where do you look at that thing, where the amount of points they've got? Let me look at the top point scoring defenders. Yeah, I mean, Pereira's up there. So we've got so the total scores for defenders in the aggregate scores are: Alonso has 24 points over the first 2 game weeks, Mendy has 23, Steve Cook has 20, Robertson has 18, Pereira has 16. Now, if you look, Alonso 6.6 million, Mendy 6.2, Steve Cook's 4.6, Robertson 6, Pereira's 5 million. That's quite good value. Shaw's up to 5 good value. I don't, off the top of my head, I think that Trippier was 6.5 or something like that, or he was a similar, maybe he was 6. And I just don't want, there's nobody in my back line that I'll be able to afford unless I get a cheaper keeper. But I only really play with 3 defenders in my one, so I'm going to leave Trippier. I think I'm going to leave Trippier. Just so as for people that want to know, goalkeepers, Etheridge is the top scorer with 22 points. Etheridge. How does that work? I'm missing a trick here. I shouldn't have gone with one for the top team. Having said that, then got Alisson on 13 and Ederson on 13 points. But 22 points, so he must have got a man of the match or something. Yeah, maybe I'm missing a trick. I'm going to ditch De Gea. I won't do it because I don't want to lose any points. I'm going to ditch De Gea. Spoke to Mr. B in the week, Mr. B, who does videos and sends in your shouts for us. Who's very. I haven't got a great signal here. You might have noticed. He's been very kindly uploading a few videos for me and helping out and gone to admin on this channel. He said to me he seems to have spent more points doing transfers than he's actually accumulated in the games themselves, so it is tempting to do that. I don't want to do that at all. I played my wild card, it was free, there were free transfers. I would like to get De Gea out. I'm going to wait till next week. As I say, I've already done Jota out, Maddison in. Let's just have a look at the midfielders. So the top scoring midfielders, Mane with 26 points, Richarlison then with 23, but the value of Richarlison, who's now 6.8, worth 6. I guess he was 6.5, but they've gone up. Pogba with 18. I can't see Pogba continuing to score because he's unhappy, isn't he? Pereira, Fraser, Pedro at Chelsea, and Salah, Milner, Walcott, Mkhitaryan. My old man's in the thing. He got 103 points this week. He had Walcott in there. He's in the league as well. Dorset Dano, he's in the league, so he's done. He did better than me, and he was very, very, very pleased to tell me so as well. Mkhitaryan's up there with 14 points. I ain't started firing. If you remember when I fancied him, I changed my team. My first ever team had Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang in. I got rid of him, and I think I was wise to. Actually, because maybe I wasn't with Mkhitaryan, but hey ho. I think they'll score this weekend though. Certainly, as I said, I think Arsenal do well, particularly those two players. Okay, Marnie's got up 0.3 million, says Forever Blowing Bubbles. Graham Perspective says he's got Sane, hopes works out. He's got Mane too. Forever Blowing Bubbles, if Salah is injured, you can buy any player as Salah is the highest value. Yes, yeah, I know, mate, I know that, but it's what people do. And what I'm saying is, all those people that have Salah are all going to be scoring the same points every week. At the point where if he does get injured, then some are going to buy Sane, some are going to buy Mane, some are going to, whatever. De Bruyne might be back by De Bruyne. It's people then do different things. That's where you start to see a split at the moment. But when I was looking through the teams, there were a lot of people that were sort of matching each other, if you know what I mean. A lot of people on sort of 97, 98, 96 points, like the old man 103. Actually, his team's quite different actually, but I did notice that a lot of the teams were very similar. A lot of people had 4 or 5 of the same players. If they're all scoring well and they're your best players, the teams, everyone's just going to match each other. No one's going to break away. We'll start to see real breakaways when the players start to change. I just think that's going to happen when someone gets injured. Nick Lane, he's just seen his mention. Hey mate, yeah, you done really well. Nick's there. Nick's the guy, as you saw. We saw his team earlier on. We flashed it. If you didn't see, if you just joined Nick, we flashed your team up. If you go back and watch the video, you see it up there. Done really well. Nick was running 117 points. Did the triple captain, same as Mark, which got Aguero. So yeah, well done, mate. You done really well. Ben Davis, what do you think about the AstroTurf possibly being changed to carrot around the running track? Ben, I'll tell you what, mate. I'll do that on different shows. I just want to keep this one, fantasy football or Premier League based. So we will go into detail around that. But what we'll say is what I've said before. I don't think the coverings fooling anyone. You can't polish the turds. I said, but it's the reason I don't want to talk about it. It's a bigger. It's a bigger subject to discuss because it's not about a bit of carpet. It's about the battle between the stadium owners and West Ham United, and those are just the first shots. We have not seen the biggest. It's almost like the starting battle. It's the starting blows. It's a little bit of squaring up and pushing before a boxing match starts. So there's a lot more to come. I'm gonna have a lot to say on it. I just don't want to do it now because it's fantasy football and whatnot. So what else you got? Right, okay, yeah. So people are talking about that. Oh, right, okay. Thanks, Vince. Vince Chapman. Thanks, mate. He said Etheridge saved 2 penalties in 2 games. That's wow. Okay. Mark, someone give me a quick explanation on the wild card. Right. Okay. Every week, Mark, you're allowed to transfer 1 player out of your team. The moment you transfer, and you do that without incurring any costs. So let's say I scored 20 points last week, okay? If I could transfer 1 player out, I would still have 20 points. If I transferred 2 players out, every additional player after that 1 free one costs you 4 points. So if I transferred 2, my 20 points, I now have 16 because it's cost me 4 points. And so on and so forth. So transferring out loads of players isn't advantageous because you might have a really good game week. You transfer out 5 or 6 players, then you're going to lose all the points you've scored from your assists and your clean sheets and your penalty saves. what the wild card allows you to do, it used to be a one-off opportunity. They might have changed it to twice a season. Someone will tell us either in the live chat or in the comments underneath the video. But it allows you one opportunity to change your whole team. To literally, or you don't have to change your whole team, to do as many transfers as you want free of charge. But so you do the transfers as you normally do them. At a point where you are going to complete it, it asks you, it will say you have a wild card available. Do you want to play the wild card? I clicked yes. I've done mine. So I printed. I can't bring it back. It's in the previous. I covered it in the previous video, and I've done 5 or 6 transfers without penalty, and it's worked. It's worked for me because it's moving back up. And as I say, the top guy, I mean, AMRMSOUD, I think it was Amir. He did the same thing as well, which clearly worked for him. But it was quite a strange one for him because he's played his wild card, but actually had a very good week the first week. So. But it's worked. It's clearly done well for him. So those are the rules, Mark. If anyone else wants to say any different, please do. Ryan Huth says Pogba's gone for me this week. I don't blame you, Ryan. I don't blame you. And as you know, I feel the same with De Gea, and I feel the same with Luke Shaw. These are bonus points from them. That is a club on a knife edge, Man United. They're about to implode. They really are. Okay, so Super Stubbs, he said, did the Matchday Stadium tour on Saturday for his son's birthday. Thought it was good, well priced. And then unfortunately he had to watch the match. Yeah, the tours are good. The tours are great. I always enjoy the tours. They do a good job with those. What else have we got here? Ben's just explaining the wild card to Mark. Mark, I just played it hoping it's a permanent transfer. Yeah, there's a separate one. Okay, let me just clear this up, Mark. There's a difference between the wild card and then there's another one which just changes it for that game week. Let me see if I can find the name for you, mate. I think it's called Free Hit. Let me just read it out here. Free Hit is make unlimited free transfers to your team for a single game week. So I think then it just reverts back to the week. Here's the point, Mark. If you play your wild card, if you've played your wild card, it's active this week, you can still go and make changes. The wildcard allows you to change back and forth as many times, but once you hit that deadline on Saturday, it might be 11 o'clock or whatever. As I said, I don't think there are any Friday night games, are there? I don't think so. There's not. So I think the cut-off is saying like 11:30. To be safe, do all your transfers. If you've done it this week, do all your transfers before, just do them Friday night. By Friday night, so tomorrow night, then you can do as many as you want. So it remains open. The wild card remains open for the game week in which you've played it. I hope that makes sense. It's not really my forte describing rules as, for competitions that I don't fully understand myself. So what else have we got here? Yeah, everyone's just explaining and helping Mark out. That's great. What else? Forever Blown Bubble says he keeps his triple captain towards the end when there is a 2-game week. Giving away your tip there. You're giving away your tip. I like it though. There are 2 games. Do you know what? He's absolutely right. That's a really good show. You remember because we have the international things, and then some people they have replays, don't they? In the League Cup, FA Cup, whatever. There's replays in some competition, or some people do well in Europe, and then they cancel Premier League fixtures, and then they have to play them later on. So you might get a team playing twice in a game week, and he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. What if Liverpool are in Europe, they're in the Premier League, and then they get, say, a replay in a cup or something? They will rearrange a Premier League fixture, and you might find Liverpool play twice in the Premier League in one game week. If that's the case, obviously, then very good point. I'm going to do that. Said yes, going legal. It's not only legal. Watching this, hopefully involved in the league. So everyone, we're just. Connor Matthews on 133 points, not too shabby. Mark Sherwin Brown, that's Mark, 138. Forever Blown Bubbles 135. What am I on? I'm on 106, 107. What am I on? Don't know now. Gonna have a look. Where's the leagues? Hammers Chat League. Where am I? 159. There you go. 159 points. So I'm happy with that. I was unhappy with my first weeks, obviously, just because I mucked it up. Super Stubbies says you get 2 wild card, 1 before January, 1 after. Thank you, Super Duper. Forever Blown Bubbles just confirmed that hopefully, as well as confusing a few people, hopefully we've cleared a few things up in the general chat there. Right, listen, folks, I'm gonna skedaddle. Listen, thank you for joining in. Thank you everybody that continues to join in. I'm really enjoying this. I think it's saying part. I'm going to say thank you very early because I was just trying to learn the software. I'll let it run for a little bit longer now. It's easier for me to finish this live stream. It gets over to you, so apologies now. We will be doing a lot better. It's a bad connection, so I'm going to finish West Ham. Missed it more. Upton Park. Then so I'll play you out. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, please do download 1 foot description below. Well, it will be in a minute because I'm going to write it in there. Thanks for joining in. Good everybody that's given advice. Selfishly given good advice as well, particularly that for the triple points for the captain. Thank you. Really enjoy this. It's great. I'll see you next time. Enjoy your weekends. Hopefully West Ham win. Hopefully whatever club you follow does, as long as it's not Arsenal.